Santa's got a list. He's checking it twice. He's got a bit of an obsession with people being nice. But old Kris Kringle has been thrown in the clink a few more times than one would think. I've studied these cases, and the verdict is clear. These are federal crimes the man has committed here. Stealing a helicopter, robbing KFC. How could we just let this man walk free? So gather round. Let me tell you the tale of why old Kris Kringle should be locked up in... Where am I? Santa?
You've been making a little joke out of my holiday.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone.
Oh, I know you will.
No, please, please! Everybody knows Santa as the holly jolly big guy with the belly and the nose and the jelly and all that good stuff. But it turns out that Santa is a no-good crook just like the rest of us. So what better way is there to celebrate the holidays, especially on a platform here like YouTube, than exposing the big man for the criminal he is? It's time to dive into the Crimes of Claus. Objection! The first crime we'll be looking at is merely a crime of Santa Claus being too generous. Too loving, even. For the man's been accused of handing out free devil's lettuce at the Buffalo Wild Wings. Expunge that from this man's record right now. So here's the tale of this apparent crime. On January 5th of 2015, Randy Lange entered a Monterey County, California branch of Buffalo Wild Wings, determined to distribute some last remnants of holiday cheer. He claimed to be Santa Claus and brought with him a duffel bag that allegedly contained 5 football-sized amounts of devil's lettuce, weighing in at over 2 pounds. The faux Santa accosted customers and told them he'd bought presents, placing samples into their confused chicken-greased hands. Employees also received an unwelcome Christmas bonus when Lange filled their tip jar up with a hefty brick of devil's lettuce. I gotta know who wrote this article. I mean, I don't think the employees were upset about that. I think the employees would be pretty happy about it. Unfortunately for Lange, the recipients of his gifts did not react joyously. Police were almost immediately called. When they arrived, Lange was calm and congenial. Of course he was, man. He was smoking the devil's lettuce. Police Sergeant Nick Borges recalls, he said he expected to be arrested for doing this at some point. Sounded like this was not his first time. It was just surreal. Lange was charged for furnishing devil's lettuce, further bolstered when police searched his home and found another 2 pounds of devil's lettuce. Why are we locking up the heroes in this country? I just don't get it. I'm on the side of Claus for this one, but this is really the only one that you're probably going to end up on Claus's side for. Let's continue on here. Santa drugs Berlin's Christmas markets. Christmas is huge in Germany. Tourists and locals flock to Berlin every December to enjoy some of the best Christmas markets in the world. In 2011, the custom took a sinister turn as a man dressed as Santa Claus drugged over a dozen unsuspecting members of the general public. Yeah, this is the criminal Santa that I was telling you about. The last Santa, perfectly fine, an angel, a hero. This Santa, a monster. Dubbed the Schnapps Spiker, the assailant would approach his victims in a buoyant mood, most often claiming that he had just become a father and thus was offering free drinks in celebration. They were laced with liquid ecstasy. Soon after ingestion, it causes vomiting, dizziness, and a lot of cases, loss of consciousness. Charles Bloom, chief of Alexanderplatz Christmas Market, offered a 1,000 euro reward for anyone who captures the Schnapps Spiker, stating, "This dirty and cowardly behavior has to be stopped." Unfortunately, it didn't lead to an arrest, and a year later, another drugging took place at the Berlin market, bearing striking similarities to the previous year's spree. So if you're going to the Berlin markets, just be careful. The Santa there is a freak. Santa replies to children's letters with angry cursing. Is that really a crime? Is that actually criminal? I mean, I know you don't expect that from Claus, but like, is that really... Can you lock a man up for that? Every year, Canada Post runs a program where children can write a letter to Santa Claus and receive a personalized reply. By 2007, over 15 million letters had been written, resulting in a Guinness Book of World Records accreditation for the most letters to Santa ever received and responded to. When you're dealing with a program that big, human error in some form is inevitable. However, what happened during the 2007 Christmas season was entirely calculated and pretty malicious. 10 unfortunate children received responses from Santa that were laced with messages such as, "This letter is too long, you dumb shit," and "Your mom sucks dick and your dad is gay." Santa uses gamer words. In response to the scandal, Canada Post released a statement indicating they were doing everything they could to track down the culprit, whom they believed to be one rogue elf. As it turned out, it was a group of minors who had gained access to the mounds of festive letters. I mean, totally unsurprising. Hilarious that Canada Post released a statement saying that it was one rogue elf. Wow. I mean, not a crime, though, I don't think. So I don't really know why this is on the list, but it's funny. It's nice to have one that's a little lighter, on the lighter side. I like this one. Next up now, this is a real crime. You may have thought Santa was fine just riding around in his little festive sleigh, but I guess at some point he said, no, it's chopper time, baby, because Santa stole a helicopter. On Friday, November 27th, 2015, a man arrived in full Santa costume at Campo de Marte Airport in Sao Paulo, Brazil, looking to hire a helicopter. It was the start of the Christmas shopping season, and more specifically, it was Brazilian Black Friday. When asked by the helicopter's pilot why he wanted to rent a helicopter, the Santa imposter minimally stated that he wanted to create a surprise to mark the special day. Indeed, the pilot was overwhelmingly surprised when his red-robed customer revealed a weapon and instructed him to fly to a farm far away from the city. There, the hijacker rendezvoused with an accomplice, and the duo proceeded to tie the pilot up. They then made their getaway in their newly acquired chopper. It took several hours for the pilot to free himself, at which point the police were informed of the hijacking. The helicopter, as well as its two occupants, seemingly vanished into thin air. Now, this is a crime, okay? Don't go stealing helicopters. It's a bad idea. It's not cool. It's not cool to steal helicopters. But it would be badass to see a movie made about this. I would really, really love to see that. Santa Claus stealing a helicopter is pretty cool. And I did not expect him to whip out the blicky on him like that. I did not know Santa was strapped. Good to know. Hoboken SantaCon leads to 9 arrests and 70 summonses. Now, I hate SantaCon. It's a terror, But I mean, Jersey's in this article. What can I say? I'm a Jersey boy. Like, let's go. Let's go, Hoboken. I love the Jersey Santas. I got nothing but love for you. Since its inception in 1998, the annual Hoboken SantaCon pub crawl has been terrorizing the people of New York. Never was this more true than in the 2015 event, which led to 9 arrests and 70 summonses for various drunk and disorderly offenses. The event, which starts during the day and carries on long into the night, consists solely of people dressing up as Christmas characters, the majority Santa Claus. SantaCon's North American roots are in San Francisco, where there's a much gentler vibe. The New York chapter has had recurring problems with violence and theft. There's a fair amount of public urination, too. It's all enough to make an 8-year-old's head explode. That's their joke. I'm not using that. Fart. Organizers argue that the event does more good than bad for the city, donating large chunks of the profits to worthy causes. Hoboken Police Chief Kenneth Ferrante is quoted as saying that SantaCon is an unnecessary, unsanctioned event, and that charity donations don't justify people coming to Hoboken and putting other visitors and residents at risk. Now, as a Jersey resident, I have been the innocent bystander in many of these SantaCon situations, and they're a public nuisance. This is basically the trashiest version of Santa that you get. The public urination, the public drunkenness. This is Santa Claus a la Bad Santa. And if you're from Jersey or New York and you're putting on that Santa Claus beard, I feel like it just gives you that little bit of anonymity that emboldens a lot of New Jerseyans and New Yorkers to just feel the urge to commit a crime. Now, I know typically you've been told to leave a plate of cookies for Santa, but if you're eating nothing but cookies all night, you are not going to have the energy to go to every single house on the earth, okay? And you're probably going to shit your pants. You need protein. So this is why Santa undoubtedly robbed a KFC drive-thru. And I know what you're thinking. What an American crime. Wrong. This is a British crime. This is British Santa, okay? This is like the most charming version of Santa you get with a little British accent, okay? I bet you didn't see that coming. Now, in Derbyshire, England, on the night of December 19th, 2015, a man dressed as Claus climbed through the drive-thru window of a KFC restaurant. In lieu of a white curly beard was a black ski mask, or a pair of stockings hiding the culprit's identity. Yet, in considerable dedication for his chosen gimmick, he did still sport a red Santa hat, robe, and pants. The bad Santa stuffed all the money that was in the till into a sack that he brought with him, and forced staff at knife point to open the store safe. Derbyshire police offered a pretty unhelpful description, stating the man wore a red hat, red trousers, and a red jacket, and had his face covered. Everyone dressed as Santa is a suspect then. It is unknown how much money was taken from the store. Alright, getting through this list, there are a few more. We're leaving out the homicides. I'm sorry, you'll have to look into those on your own. Now, there are about 4 more entries on this list that I've gotten these from Listverse here, but 3 of them are homicides. I'm leaving those out. You can look them up on your own. Before we get to the last one here, if you've been enjoying yourself, please like and subscribe. If you're in the holiday spirit, I have 2 other holiday videos that you can watch that are out so far. Please give those a little watch, and if you're digging what you're seeing, subscribe. Alright, let's finish this bad boy off with a bang. Santa's fistfight with a teenager causes a crowd of children to cry. This is the kind of, movie crime Santa hijinks we were looking for here, right? Okay, so let's get into this. In December 2000, during a Christmas display entitled Santa Sails In, held in the seaside town of Great Yarmouth, England, a 35-year-old man dressed as Santa got into a fight with a teenager. The longest-lasting damage was not to either of the fight's participants, but to the crowd of confused children, who burst into tears as Santa was led away in handcuffs. For their part, the police attempted to calm the situation by taking some of the most traumatized children down to the station in order to show they arrested an imposter. So they unbearded the Santa Claus down at the station as if they're like, hey, look, this guy was just faking that he was Santa Claus. Don't even worry about it, kids. We got him. We got this fake scumbag. They also released a rather elegant statement saying, sometime after Santa's sleigh arrived, another man wearing a Santa Claus costume became involved in a dispute that led to a scuffle. Norfolk police are certain that the real Santa would not approve of people behaving in this way, and of course he will continue his pre-Christmas visits and delivery of gifts everywhere on Christmas Day. So there it is, the crimes of this Santa Claus fella, okay? I don't know what he's gonna get into this year, but I'm sure it's gonna be crazy, whoa! If you like this video, here's another holiday video, here's a video YouTube thinks you'll like down here, and sub to the channel. But yeah, I'm out of here. Have a happy holiday and all that stuff. I'm gonna snow globe myself out of here.